changeup, and a base hit into center field for Smith. So Reggie comes through, and with 1 out in the first inning, the Red Sox have. That's a fair ball. Smith goes around second and over to third base, and Yastrzemski has a single right over the bag down the first baseline, but baseball. And then by Thursday, everybody will be very anxious to get back. There are the runners at second and third. Little pop fly. Leon is going out. Smith is going back and tagging. And here's the throw. He draws the throw and gets back, and that's a good thing he did. Boy, what a play. What a throw. Homers and 56 runs batted in. The pitch away. Here comes Smith, and he's safe at home. And Yastrzemski takes the turn and goes back to third. 3-2, 2 out. There's Yastrzemski at third. Rico is on. So Dunning now has walked 1 and struck out 1. George Scott is going to first, and the bases are loaded. So with 3 on, Billy Conigliaro is coming up to the plate now for Boston. There's Alvin Dark. You'll notice he's wearing the number 1. He had been wearing the number 5, but they had Lou Boudreau night here the other night in Cleveland, and the number 5 in which he has gone to 3-2. Ball 4. Billy Conigliaro goes to first base. Carl Yastrzemski is home with a run. Alvin Dark is going out to talk with Ray Fosse. Now he goes to the mound. Rico winds up over at third base, and Scott is on second.
The thing about Dunning, he hasn't let up one bit. He's been popping that ball.
Him out. So the Red Sox are down in the first inning, but they have picked up 2 runs. They had 2 hits and 3 men left aboard. So at the end of a half inning, it is Boston 2 and Cleveland coming up. The outfield plays Pinson around toward right. Singles to right field. Tony Conigliaro up with the ball, and Veda Pinson leads off with a base hit.
And I think in Detroit.
Fair ball. Heidemann. Ball away from Conigliaro. Heidemann turns second. He's going for 3. Here's the throw, and he's safe. Here's another look at that ball as it went past Billy Conigliaro. And Heidemann winds up on third base.
2-base hit in there.
2-base hit for Heidemann. To come into us, and we hope to hear from you. Send them along to the Jimmy Fund, Boston, Mass. 02117. Pinson, base hit. Second straight line single into right field. This one a little bit more toward the line.
The curveball. He went 3-0 to Yastrzemski, and then one pitch looked like a slider, but then he just had a curve and a fastball that challenged him, struck him out. Well stroked to left center. Billy is on. Pinson picking up, and Billy has himself a single. He walked in the first inning with a base. Washington leads the Yankees 4-1 after an inning and a half at Washington. Base hit. Charged by Billy. Sims to the plate. Here comes a throw. He is dead. Out. And runners are at first and second. A great throw by Billy Conigliaro as he nails the lumbering Duke Sims at the plate. 7-2. Let's have a look at that again, John. He charged that like Yastrzemski charged it in the outfield.
Of course, Billy has that good arm. You see, he got in behind that ball. The ball was hit sharply, and a big guy running like Sims. There you see Billy. Good throw by Billy. Went all the way on the mark, right to Jerry, and Jerry...
It almost had...
This young fella, Dunning, really reminds me of Bob Turley, Ned. I know some of his mannerisms are a lot like Turley's. A little bit bigger, though, isn't he?
You'd like to have him, wouldn't you?
Sure would.
That's second to short to first. Safe at first. A ball and 2 strikes. There goes Reggie. There goes the ball deep to left center, and bye-bye. Home run, Conigliaro, number 17, and his 49th and 50th RBIs. The Red Sox lead 4-0. Oh, did he mash that one? Number 17. The Red Sox have a 4-0 lead.
All right.
46 in the first inning. Going to right field is Moses. That's going to be in there all the way to the foul pole wall. That'll be good for 2. Scott is held at third base. An off-field double for Jerry Moses, and the Red Sox have runners at second and third, and Alvin Dark. He has Hennigan coming into the ball game right now. That will be all for Steve Dunning. We'll be right back with more Red Sox action in a minute. He'd gotten off the bag and had skipped in a little bit, trying to upset Hennigan. And there's George. He's been bluffing a lot in his tour of the bases this time. He did off first base. He bluffed a couple of steals. The bunt. It's the safety squeeze, and it's going to work. Scott scores. Culp is on, and over to third goes Jerry Moses. It's 5-0. A beautiful bunt placed down, and that goes as, here we see it again, John. Really, it's a safety squeeze because Scott was not breaking to the plate until he saw the ball down. Dick Schofield, 0 for 2. He has walked once. Broken bat. Who's going to get it? Horton fires to the shortstop, back to first, double play. And this goes 3-6 to 1 and takes them out of the inning. A broken bat ground ball. Horton fielded it quickly to Heidemann, who went back to the pitcher, Hennigan covering. And in the 6th inning, 1 run scored. There were 2 hits and 1 left.
Houston beat San Francisco 8-7. Ray over Don McMahon. The pitch gets by Fosse, and here comes Smith, and he scores. A wild pitch allows Reggie Smith to come home with a run. Here's a replay of it as Smith comes down the line hard and comes in with another Red Sox run to make it 8-2 in favor of Boston. And over to second goes Pavletic. One ball, the count on Fiore. Two balls, no strikes to Mike. Ball 3, 3-0. Ball 4. Mike Fiore goes to first base. And the Red Sox now have runners on first and second with one man out in the 8th, and the batter is Rico Petrocelli. Rico has singled to left, walked, bounced to the pitcher, and flied to center field in this game. Rico had a home run in 3 official at-bats in Game 1. Pops it up. Fosse makes the catch over near the steps. Petrocelli fouls to the catcher. So the Red Sox get 1 run on 1 base hit and leave 2. And at the end of 7 1/2, the Red Sox lead 8-2. So Hinton will bat for Eulander as we go into the last half of the 8th inning. Strike 1. Hinton was a pinch hitter in the first game, and he grounded out the shortstop. Strike 2. Sparky Lyle on in relief of Sonny Siebert on the mound for the Red Sox. One ball, 2 strikes. Two and 2 now to Hinton. Three and 2. Good stop by Santriano of a pitch in the dirt. Mike Nagy is throwing in the Boston bullpen now. And Hinton is out. He got a good slider across on him. One away in the 8th inning. Ray Fosse has 1 for 3, a double to right field in the 6th inning. One of the signs for Cleveland's newest baseball hero. Pitch in the dirt, a changeup by Sparky, ball 1. Ball 2. Strike. 2 balls and 1 strike on Fosse. Foul ball. Johnny Lippon, the third base coach, fielding it. Boston 8 and Cleveland 2. Boston won the first game 6-2. There's a base hit to right field. Second time that Fosse has come up with a hit to right here in this ball game. His last 2 trips, he has singled to right. And part of that may come from the fact that he's caught both games. He may be a little weary, and as a result, coming around a little late on his swing.
Ken, he's got to be tired. That first ball game, he must have caught 400 pitches.
Here's Sims now. He has singled, grounded out, and struck out. Ball 1. Siebert pitched very well to Sims last time. He got 1 strike over on a change and then struck him out on a change. Ball 2 the count. High pop-up. And Pavletic comes in to take it as Sims broke his bat. He slammed the bat down and broke it. Pop up to the first baseman, 2 out in the 8th. The batter is Horton. Tony has flied to right, grounded to second, and lined to third. Strike 1. Sparky Lyle usually does not come into a ball game with a score like this. It gives him a chance to work a little bit on some of his things. He wants to do a couple of things differently. 1 and 1. Wants to show his curveball more. He's been working basically with a fastball and a slider, and he also wants to show the changeup just so that the batters will know that he has more than the fastball and the slider. 2 and 1. A big second half from Sparky, who has been one of the outstanding relievers in the game the past couple of years, would mean a great deal to the Red Sox. Petrocelli throws to first base, and Horton is out to retire the side. In the 8th inning, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on. So after 8 full, the Red Sox lead 8-2. The Red Sox won the first one 6-2 as Ray Culp got his 9th win. And they're leading here 8-2 as we go to the 9th inning. George Scott is up. He's 0 for 4 in this game. We had a fight in the first inning of this game, too, as Lasher hit Tony Conigliaro, and Tony went after him, and both benches unloaded. Chuck Hinton, who is staying in the game in right field, is getting some sunglasses. Veda Pinson has moved to center as Ulander was lifted. I don't know, John, if you fellows got talking about it over here or not, but they had a thing happen in the Washington series here where somebody threw at somebody. There's a base hit for Scott, and this may be good for a couple, and will be, as Hinton is up with the ball and George has double to right. Runner at second base. In any case, somebody was knocked down on the one side, and then somebody tried to knock a batter down, and on the next pitch, the bat went out of the batter's hands, and instead of going to the pitcher, it went down to Frank Howard. And Howard picked up the bat, and he just held up one finger in each hand like, okay, gang, we're all even, let's forget it. And everybody forgot it. Billy Conigliaro takes a strike. But I don't picture the Cleveland dugout or any dugout unloading if Frank Howard is standing out there, especially with the bat in his hands. Not that the gentle giant would ever use it. Billy Conigliaro hits a ground ball to third. Scott holds at second. Billy, with 2 hits in this game, grounds to third. He had homered and singled in his first 2 tries. 1 out.
Ken, you know, you hear an awful lot about these knockdowns and throwing at people. Usually a fellow that does that, he gets a reputation, and he just doesn't hang around too long, because after all, you still have to depend on stuff, a good curveball, a fastball. This stuff about throwing at somebody deliberately is idiotic, I think. It's hard for me to believe the fellow that pitches, who is the pitcher, would intentionally try to hit somebody. It just doesn't seem that way to me, because this is too great a game.
Ball 1.
Sometimes I think a pitcher has good enough control. He can bust the ball in, but to deliberately throw at you is ridiculous.
Satriano takes a strike. It's 1-1.
You know, I always felt, Ken, and I say this honestly, if I ever thought a guy was really throwing at me deliberately, there's no telling what I would do, what I would have done.
Ground ball to Horton. Tosses over to Ellsworth for the out. Scott goes to third base and takes a big turn, and then almost challenges Dick to throw the ball over. So there are 2 men out here in the 9th inning with Scotty on third, and up to the plate now, Sparky Lyle. He was up in the 8th inning and grounded out to second. 8-2 Boston, first of the 9th. There's a strike call to Lyle. Fly ball to left field. Sims is there, and he's got it. And that is all for the Red Sox. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on. So at the end of 8 1/2, there it is. The Red Sox lead it 8-2. The pitcher scheduled up third. Foul ball, strike 1. In the National League, San Diego beat Los Angeles 4-1. Kirby over Sutton. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike 2. 2-2 the count now. Detroit and Baltimore in their second game, the Tigers having won the first one, are tied now, 3-3 at the end of 3. Heidemann is out, 1 away in the 9th inning. Hall is pitching for Baltimore now in the 3rd inning. 3-3 the score between the Orioles and the Tigers. 1 out in the last half of the 9th, and up to the plate, Eddie Leon, with Buddy Bradford scheduled to bat next for the pitcher, Dick Ellsworth. Strike one. One ball, one strike. Well, no sooner did we mention that tie than Elrod Hendricks has hit one in the 5th, number 5 rather, in the 4th with 1 on. There's a drive to center for a base hit. Leon is on with 1 out in the 9th inning. Leon getting his 2nd hit, and Bradford now will bat for Ellsworth. So now Baltimore is leading 5-3, and they're up in the 4th. Buddy Bradford at the plate. Acquired from the White Sox. He's done quite a job for this club since coming over. Strike one. One and one. Two balls, one strike. Red Sox will be home on Thursday afternoon with Milwaukee. And don't forget that it will be Mayor White Day with 7,500 free tickets available starting tomorrow at little city halls and playgrounds throughout the city to Boston children between the ages of 10 and 15. Three and one the count. Line drive foul. 3-2 to Bradford. It's Mike Nagy you saw warming up in the bullpen for the Red Sox. Bradford lines one into center for a base hit. And Leon goes to second base. Runners at first and second. 1 out in the last half of the 9th inning. Red Sox 8 and the Indians 2, and the batter is Pinson. He has 3 hits and 4 at-bats. Strike one. Foul ball, strike two. Vicente Romo has started to warm up now for the Red Sox, and Roy Foster has come out on deck with Nettles scheduled next. Pinson strikes out. And there are 2 away in the 9th inning. And Foster now will bat for Nettles. Red Sox 8, the Indians 2. Boston won the first one 6-2. The pitch in the dirt. 1 ball to count. Foster batting .280. Foul ball, 1-1. Strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count on Foster.